In the first part of the story, the son of the sage cursed Parikshit to die after 7 days. Now let's continue our story from here. Sage Shringi, after the curse, went to the ashram and removed the snake from the neck of his father. Then his father came out of the meditation and asked, "Who has placed this snake at my neck?" Then Shringi told him that a king had done this, and he cursed the king to die after 7 days. Then Sage Shramik asked, "Do you know who the king was?" The son replied that he didn't know. Then Shramik told him, "We must never curse anyone without knowing about him and his offense in detail." Then the sage Shramik closed his eyes and again went into a deep meditation to find out what really happened. He then knew the king was Maharaj Parikshit, who is a very righteous and dharmatma king. For that moment, Kali had corrupted his mind, residing in his crown, so he acted like that. Then he scolds his son because he cursed the king, who is a very righteous and the one who is stopping Kali Yuga from entering this kingdom. Without such a wise king in the Kali Yuga, all the people will be involved in bad activities and dharma will vanish from this world. Then Sage Shramik went to the king's palace in order to inform him about the curse and that he only had 7 days left on this earth. Meanwhile, when King Parikshit reached his palace, he went inside his room. Then he took out the crown of his head where Kali was residing. Just after taking out the crown, his corrupted mind again returned to its original state. Then he realized he had committed a great offense by insulting such a great saint. "I shall tomorrow early morning go to his ashram and apologize for what I have done." Finally, Sage Shramik arrived at the gate of the palace. He told the gatekeeper that he wanted to meet the king right now. The gatekeeper replied, "The king is very tired today and is taking rest now, so you can only meet him tomorrow." Then the sage replied, "I must meet the king right now because he is not seeing his death which is approaching him. So quickly inform the king that I am at his gate." The gatekeeper informed the king and King Parikshit was surprised to hear it. The king then hurried to his gate and welcomed the sage inside his palace. He took the sage inside the throne room and let him sit in his throne. In those days, kings used to respect saints in that way. Then King Parikshit apologized to Sage Shramik for his mistake. The sage then replied, "O king, I know it was not your fault. Actually, Kali had corrupted your mind, so you behaved like that. As a result, I have not considered you to be my offender, but I am worried about you because when my son heard of this offense, without thinking any further, he suddenly cursed you, saying that you would be dead after 7 days from today after being bitten by a deadly snake called Tachak. Then King Parikshit was astounded. He was a great warrior and great warriors are not afraid of death, so he replied, "Knowingly, unknowingly, I have committed an offense, so the punishment for me is fine. Now I would like to ask you what a person can do best if he is dying within 7 days. The sage then replied, "O Parikshit, actually all the living beings are approaching their death but are unaware of it. People think they are eternal and they will always attain their youth age, so they commit sin and do harm to other people in the pride of their power and wealth, which are temporary. You are very lucky because you can guarantee that you will live for 7 days, but other people can't do it because death is uncertain. It can come at any time. You know one king named Khatwang, who is also your ancestor. He knew that he only had half an hour left on this earth. At that time, he surrendered to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna and attained the divine abode of God. You have 7 days remaining, which is a better case than his. So the best thing for you is that you must listen to the recitation of a book named Srimad Bhagavat for 7 days continuously. The book is very important because it contains many sweet stories about Lord Sri Krishna, which is capable of wiping out all the sins from our heart. Every human being has only one aim, and that is the realization of God. All the other aims are temporary because worldly aims cannot provide us with real happiness. In this world, everything is temporary. Only the devotion of Lord Sri Krishna is permanent because it provides us with infinite bliss for eternity. Thus, while listening to the story of Sri Krishna, you must surrender yourself to him and you shall attain his divine abode for eternity. Then King Parikshit asked, "Who can recite the story of Bhagavad for me?" Then the sage replied, "At this moment, the best person to recite Srimad Bhagavat is Sukadev Paramhans, who is the son of Vedavyas, and Vedavyas is also the creator of this Bhagavat. So you must request Sukadev to please recite Srimad Bhagavat." Then King Parikshit left all his kingdom and property to his son and left his palace. Then he went to Sukadev Paramhans and requested him to recite the Srimad Bhagavat. Then Sukadev happily accepted it because the book contains the sweet pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna. Then Sukadev recited the stories of Srimad Bhagavat for 7 days, and many people gathered to listen to it because it can wipe out all the sins from our heart. Then after 7 days, Parikshit realized the God. All his sins were wiped away and he was ready to attain the divine abode of Lord Sri Krishna. Then he left his body here as it was bitten by the snake according to the curse, and he went happily to the abode of God because he realized that he was not the body but the soul whose aim is to realize God. Srimad Bhagavat is such an invaluable book whose recitation can wipe out all the sins from our heart and enable us to attain the divine abode of Lord Sri Krishna. The story of Parikshit you are listening to right now is also the story of Srimad Bhagavat. This finishes our story here. And if you like the story, please hit the like button and subscribe the channel for listening more stories like this. Till then, goodbye, namaste and take care. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram